Hey everybody, Sneaky Narcotic, back at it again with another YouTube video. Today we're going to be going over the first of the Magic the Gathering Core Set 2020 spoiler season. And I hope you guys are as excited as me. This is going to be the next standard set to come out, and I got some good news, guys. I'll let my friend Oprah Winfrey take it over from here. That's right, guys. Everybody gets a Chandra. So this set is at least in part based around Chandra Nalaar. And the first of the spoilers actually was 3 different Planeswalker cards for Chandra Nalaar. Of different rarities as well. So it starts from the uncommon on the far left, to the rare in the middle, into the mythic rare on the right. And I saw this on the Twitter page today. I thought I'd take a picture for you guys and put it up here. But this is a very accurate depiction of how these cards are, both in art and in power level, and in rarity, I guess, since that's exactly what it's like. So anyways, let's get into the first of the spoilers. Chandra Novice Pyromancer. It is a 3 generic, 1 red, legendary planeswalker, Chandra, of course. It is an uncommon Chandra. It has a +1 ability. Elementals you control get +2/+0 until end of turn. A -1 ability. Add 2 red mana. And a -2 ability. Chandra Novice Pyromancer deals 2 damage to any target. And it comes down for a loyalty of 5. Now, if you look at the picture, this is young Chandra. If I had to take a guess, this is her on the plane of Kaladesh, her home plane. Probably when she first started using Pyromancy, and it's kind of weird to see her happy, because if I remember correctly, she's getting hunted down at an early age. But anyways, as far as the card goes, Elementals, I don't know too many in the current standard, but if we see some Elementals printed in Core Set, it's not far to go for Chandra Novice Pyromancer to be a standard stapled card. As far as a 4 mana Planeswalker in red, that's more mid-tier, and red's really not been mid-tier for a while. If you play Magic the Gathering Arena for more than 2 seconds, you'll run into a 13 land mono red deck for some freaking reason, and it'll kick your butt. This is not something you can play with 13 lands, in my opinion. Now, I might be wrong. Maybe you can pull out 4 lands out of 13. If you're doing a little bit of math, that's about a third of your lands. But anyways, this card works really good with our next card, which I'll get to in a second here. But I do want to say, adding 2 red mana is pretty good. Ramp in red, there's not much of it right now. There's like a Goblin Prospector is the only card I really know off the top of my head that red has for Rampage. That last one deals 2 damage to any target. It's alright. I think what's most important is that Chandra does it, and that could become more important later on. Sorin, I believe, has the Sorin Vengeful Bloodlord, I believe, has an ability that lets Planeswalkers deal life gain damage. So dealing 2 damage and gaining you 2 life for a -2. Being able to do that twice, relatively, for 4 mana, that's not bad. Gain 4 life, deal 4 damage. That's not bad. Anyways, let's get on to the next one. Chandra Acolyte of Flame. 1 generic, 2 red, legendary Planeswalker Chandra. Of course, it is of rarity. It has a 0 ability of put a loyalty counter on each red Planeswalker you control. Another 0 ability of create 2 1/1 red elemental creature tokens. They gain haste. Sacrifice them at the beginning of the next end step. And then a -2 ability. You may cast target instant or sorcery card with converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard. If that card would be put into your graveyard this turn, exile it instead. And of course, it comes down for a 4 loyalty. Now, out of all the Chandras, I believe the Chandra Acolyte of Flame will probably see the most play. It fits very well into Mono Red Burn as it stands right now. As far as the art goes on the card, that kind of looks like she might be at Coral Keep. I don't know how to say that word. I'll just leave it to your imagination. But it's on Regatha and Ragatha. Dang, more words I can't say. But this is, of course, later after she leaves the plane of Kaladesh. So it's just interesting to see that as far as it goes, it looks like this is going into the future. And it starts from her being younger and then getting older. And so let's talk about the loyalty abilities real quick. The first one looks really cool if you're playing a mono red Planeswalker deck, and that might become a thing now. Normally when you get relative cards, like put a loyalty counter on each red Planeswalker you control, then you start playing that and you see if the synergies work. The next one, create 2 1/1 red elemental creature tokens. Like I said, this goes really well with Chandra, Novice Pyromancer, because you can then give your 1/1s +2/+0 until end of turn, and they become 3/1s with haste that can deal 6 damage all of a sudden for 0. She doesn't get negative for this. This is for 0. And of course, actually, it's a +1 on the first one. But anyways, I hate that they have the whole sacrifice them at the beginning of the next instep. I really hate that. I do, because this is something when grading a Planeswalker, a lot of people like to talk about, can the Planeswalker protect itself? And relatively, Chandra cannot. She almost could have. She could have left 2 1/1 red elemental creature tokens on the field, and that would have been good enough, I guess. But I see why they didn't. It is a 0 ability, it's not a negative ability, and so I kind of see why they don't. The -2 ability is insane for me. If you're playing Mono Red Burn and you're looking for that last 3 damage, well, you got it in your graveyard, and you don't care if you exile a card, so there you go. And she can do that twice. Not once, but twice. So put 2 lightning strikes into your graveyard, and well, there you go. That's 6 damage to the face. Yeah, that's, let's see, read it again. You may cast target instant or sorcery card with converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard. So you still have to cast it, and that's alright, but it still gives you another opportunity to cast it, and that's what I think's insane. Absolutely insane. I'd like to mention one more thing about the art. If you look at the full art versions, she starts off with this like gremlin looking familiar, and then she goes into these almost lizard Viashino looking familiars, and I think that's kind of cool too, that not only is she growing up, but so is her pyromancy. And here's the last one, Chandra Awakened Inferno. So 4 generic, 2 red, legendary Planeswalker, Chandra, of course. It is of mythic rarity. This spell can't be countered. Jesus Christ, guys. This spell can't be countered in red. Oh my god. +2. Each opponent gets an emblem with, at the beginning of your upkeep, this emblem deals 1 damage to you. Crap. That's awful. That's a plus ability, too. -3. Chandra Awakened Inferno deals 3 damage to each non-elemental creature. Holy crap. Okay. -X. Chandra Awakened Inferno deals X damage to target creature or planeswalker. If a permanent dealt damage this way would die this turn, exile it instead. And then, of course, this comes down for 6 loyalty. So, those first 2 abilities, guys. Oh my god, those first 2 abilities. This makes me want to put it... I have a... is it commander deck that's... Well, actually, I have a Jeskai commander deck. Let's put it that way. That plays a lot of planeswalkers. It's kind of like Jeskai Super Friends using Narset. I forget which one. It's the creature one. Obviously, it's commander. But anyways, Transcendent Master. Yeah, that's right. Narset, Transcendent Master, and I get to play non-creature spells for free. Basically, dig my graveyard or dig my library and play non-creature spells for free. And Chandra would be insane in Commander because she would deal 3 damage at the beginning of your upkeep. So she would be dealing a damage each upkeep other than yours to an opponent. That would be insane. That's a lot of damage. But anyways, the second ability is just kind of like a little board clear, especially for tokens, which can sometimes match this. Oh my god, not even thinking about it. Chandra Awakened Inferno does 3 damage to each non-elemental creature. This deals with, like, I don't know, mono white aggro. If you can get a Chandra Awakened Inferno down, instantly -3 it. And the thing is too, this deals with counter magic because the spell can't be countered on MTG Arena. And this is a complaint. If you watched a couple of my videos, I hate this so much, but I love and hate it because then I can use it as well. There's this thing that happens when you put a Planeswalker down. Your opponent does not get a say about what happens to that Planeswalker until you do something else. So normally what you'll do is you'll put the Planeswalker down and you'll use one of their loyalty abilities. In this case, go ahead and clear the board, or go ahead and give them the emblem that's going to keep dealing damage every single turn. This is the opposite of a fountain of renewal. Oh my god, this is insane. As far as the art goes, this looks like Chandra Torch of Defiance. So this Chandra Torch of Defiance was, I believe, from Aether Revolt. I'm going to look that up while I talk more about it. But this has to be after Kaladesh. Here, I just pulled it up. Let's see. Yes, that's Aether Revolt. This has to be after Kaladesh. In my opinion, it looks like maybe after even War of the Spark. She didn't really have red glowing hair until then, I believe. Not like that, anyways, not flames. She also has the Pyromancer's goggles. In that picture, she doesn't, but in this picture, she does. So I do believe it's after Aether Revolt. And I think it might even be after War of the Spark. That background kind of looks like maybe she went back to Ragatha, however you want to say it. But anyways, if you look also, she kind of has, instead of familiar, it just looks like her own flames. She looks like she became the familiar. That's what it looks like. Instead of having to rely on her magic to go off like that, it looks like she became her own familiar. But anyways, I think that Chandra Awakened Inferno, again, isn't the most playable card. The most playable card, in my opinion, is still Acolyte Flame. But this card would do really good in a deck I haven't really seen in a while, although it does show up from time to time, I'll admit, and that is Big Red. Big Red used to be huge. I mean, I remember Big Red used to be the deck to play until Mono Red Aggro finally caught up. But this deck could be in Big Red and take care of this. Let me put it another way. Chandra Awakened Inferno deals with Goblin Chain Whirler and every other red creature, unless you have 3+1/+1 counters on your Flamekin. That's, Steamkin. Runaway Steamkin. Speaking of, Runaway Steamkin, if I'm not mistaken, is an elemental, so this actually doesn't deal damage to Runaway Steamkin, which I found insane. Runaway Steamkin. Yes, Runaway Steamkin is elemental and will work insanely good with Chandra Awakened Inferno. And it's from, let's see here. It's from Ravnica, so there you go. It's going to be in this set for a while. It's going to be in Standard. Holy crap. Anyway, guys, I just want to say I'm super excited for spoiler season. I am very... I don't even know what the word is. I know it's just a core set. Core sets relatively have been half reprints and half new cards, but it's still fun to look and see what can be back in Standard. Love it. And I hope that they do 3 Planeswalkers for each of the Gatewatch, just as a last homage to the Gatewatch before we yeah, I hope get rid of them, but my opinions, my opinions. Anyways, guys, please stick around. This has been Sneaky Narcotic, signing off.